Stampede Nation, what is good, and welcome back to another episode and a new season here of our subscriber dynasty with the Summit State Stampede. Now, in last week's episode, man, we ended our first season ever as an organization, and we ended up losing in our first ever college football playoff matchup against Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now, it didn't end for Notre Dame as they ended up actually going to the national championship just to evidently lose to Kansas State, which I'm kind of honestly surprised that the Wildcats made it all the way to the national championship. That wasn't really a team I expected, but hey, shout out to Kansas State for getting it done and winning a national championship. But overall, man, we had a really good season. We finished 13-1, our only loss coming in this college football playoff, and I'll say what a great way to start the first ever college football playoff. And Summit State, man, we got some big plans to be back in there and hopefully be back in that playoff real soon. Now, I kind of wanted to take a look at kind of how things went out. Now, up at the top of the bracket, Clemson ended up playing Kansas State in the semifinal round, losing 52-37. So like I said earlier, Kansas State made their way to the final game, and then we actually would have ended up playing Michigan if we would have beat Notre Dame, but Notre Dame getting it done 41-21 against Michigan, just to end up losing it in the national championship by 4 points. And honestly, the number 9 seed and the number 10 seed finishing it out in the national championship game, that's pretty crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie, and who knows, maybe we'll see something like that happen in real life as well. Now, this episode is going to be based off of just kind of getting our offseason done, and I'm gonna let you guys know, if you're in this point of the video, let me know in the comment section, and any recruits that we get, even if you're a channel member and have somebody in the video already, if you want to be a part of this series and you want to be a player, comment down below your player that you want, and also put in CFB playoff after him so I know that you're at this point of the video. And if I see the first couple that are in there, your players will be in season number 2 of our subscriber dynasty here with Summit State. Now, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and do some advancing of my own, and when we get to kind of key points of the offseason, I'll kind of get you guys in the loop for that. But let's go ahead and get season number 2 started with this offseason. Now, man, the thing I didn't want to look at, man, is the players leaving. I don't want to see my seniors go, man. I'm sad to see y'all go, but we knew it was going to happen at some point, and I'm not going to lie, I hope some of y'all got drafted. So let's go see who's all leaving, who's all staying, and what happened in the draft. All right, man, and looking at our list, we got 4 players that are up for transfer, man. As you see here, we had some of our guys leave for graduation, so I don't really know if they made it to the NFL draft. I don't think that it shows us right now, but hopefully, man, I hope some guys like Maz Moreau made it, man, Dante Ellis, Sean Taylor, man, a lot of good seniors on there. But looking at our transfers, man, I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple big players, man. I definitely want to keep our right guard, Juice Turner, but it's gonna be hard, man. He's very low on his persuasion chance, so we're just gonna try it and see what he says. All right, so his reason for leaving is his play style. Now, I'm gonna try and persuade him. I can't, it's at an F, man, so I don't know if he's going to. Let's see what he says. And just like that, man, we lose our first ever player, man. We have failed to obtain Juice Turner, and what has already been a rocky offensive line gets even worse for season number 2. Wow, I cannot. Our first player, man, is leaving. That is not good. Now, I know, hear me out, I know DuScore is a good player. Now, I've been honestly kind of impressed more with Jay Lalonde, if I'm being honest. Now, I know we have a upcoming young star with Tyler Bolton, and I also have a redshirt freshman that I'm really high on. So I'm not gonna lie, just because I want DuScore to have an opportunity to play somewhere else, I honestly might encourage him to leave Summit State. So I think we're gonna let DuScore walk, man. It's not that I don't want him on the team, it's just I know DuScore deserves a starting spot, and I want all these players on here to have as much opportunities as possible. So I'm going to give DuScore a shot to go play somewhere else, I think. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. But DuScore, it's been a pleasure, man, but I'm just going to let you walk, man. I hope that you can find a good spot, man, and honestly, we're going to put you on the schedule to wherever you go. Francis Favors, I saw some nice things from him in our playoff game, so I'm going to definitely try and get him to stay. And again, we cannot get Prentice Favors, man. So we're losing a possible star receiver. And already we are 0 for 2 on the persuasion list. What is going on here in Summit State? Blake Young, honestly, we're just going to see if we can get one person to stay. And again, we have been failed 3 times. I might even try to get Deuce Gore at this point. Honestly, nah, we're gonna let Deuce Gore, man. We're gonna let him go. We're gonna do what's best for him. But man, 0 for 3 on the persuasions, man. So we lose Juice Turner, Prentice Favors, and Blake Young. So I hope that we got some upcoming studs on the depth chart, man, because we're losing, honestly, Juice Turner and Prentice Favors, man. They were kind of up and coming on this team, so I hope that we got some dogs below them. All right, now looking at our recruits, man, we were really close on a lot, but like I said earlier, I didn't really do a whole lot of recruiting this year just because we have so many young players. We really didn't lose that much. I mean, we lost like 8 seniors, but honestly, we only lost 2 people with the transfer portal, so that's not bad in my opinion. We have a lot of young guys. Like, our best players are freshmen, so I kind of just want to fill out the roster as needed. So we got a couple guys here on the recruiting stage. We got Deacon Gardner, who was our first ever recruit. He's a wide receiver, so losing Prentice Favors, man, hopefully this dude can come in and kind of fill his spot. We also got middle linebacker Kurt McQuarters, who I'm kind of confident in. Once Justin Jagger leaves, this guy could maybe step into his position, but we'll have to see. I mean, he's pretty young, man. He has decent stats. I mean, 83 speed. His man coverage and zone coverage is kind of a little shaky for me, but as a young player, that's something that I think that we could work on. We also got Ben Combs, man. He's a free safety. I don't know where I'm going to put him at. I mean, we did lose Sean Taylor, but we still have Ben Crawford in the lineup, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. But honestly, I have 655 hours left. I might kind of just fill in some spots that I need to. I mean, I got a couple guys on here. Coco Ivy, right tackle, who's coming in for a visit. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. Andre Yeboah, I think is how you say his name, cornerback. And we also have another wide receiver, Danny Mount. So I'm probably going to look through the prospect list, just see if anybody's gone unsigned and see if there's anybody that I can get. But I also, before I do that, I want to take a look at the transfer portal and see what all is available for us. I kind of just wanted to see who honestly was some big names that were in the transfer portal, and somebody I'm very surprised at is LSU's starting quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. I could say that's the first time I've ever seen him enter the transfer portal, and what a big shockwave to start this transfer portal season off, man. Garrett Nussmeier, one of the biggest prospects on this list so far. And I think probably the biggest name that I've seen on this list is going to be the freshman star receiver Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State is entering the transfer portal, man. He normally does a lot of the times, but honestly, I was kind of hoping that he was here and maybe he would have some interest in us, because imagine Jeremiah Smith on one side and Tremarcus on the other, but it looks like Jeremiah Smith has some other ideas in mind, and goodness gracious, I hope that boy doesn't go to Georgia. But looking around the list, man, there's a couple good players that I've seen that are interested in us, and I'm actually going to take some time here and show you guys some of the guys that I've kind of looked around and who I think is going to be a pretty decent fit, and I'm honestly going to throw out scholarships at a couple of these guys. Now, first player that I have on my recruiting board is Krishan McCary. Now, McCary is from, I believe he's from Akron, and he is a 4-star recruit. He's currently number 1 in the state and number 6 in his position. And I'm not gonna lie, dude has some pretty good numbers. I mean, he has 93 speed, 93 excel, 85 deep route. He honestly reminds me a little bit of a Maz Moreau type player, so it's kind of what we needed. He has cutter ability, recoup, a double dip, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, if we can get this guy on our team, I feel like this will be a much needed boost to our wide receiver room, especially after losing Prentice Favors and Dante Ellis and our fan favorite man, Maz Moreau. So Krishan McCary, I hope that we can get you on this list, man, because I'm not gonna lie, he's looking a little dangerous over here. Somebody else I was intrigued by was Alex Bauman. He's a tight end, but he is a vertical threat. Now, Brady Miller, he's kind of our nice, reliable pass catcher, but we don't really have anybody who has nice speed and can really get the ball down the field the way that Alex Bauman can. He has 83 speed, 88 awareness, 86 spectacular catch, and honestly, he has some really good abilities. I mean, he's 6'5", 245, and I really don't think that some of these players or some of these teams on his list offer what we can offer with the championship contenders. I mean, maybe Indiana, maybe Pitt, but I mean, we were just in the college football playoffs, man. So Alex, go ahead, bring your butt on over here to Summit State. So Alex Bauman is definitely somebody who I have my eye on. Now, I am looking pretty heavily in our offensive line. Now, I kind of just got some 2-stars. There wasn't really a whole lot that was interested in me, but the two biggest names that were interested in me were 2 left guards that I can kind of flip-flop wherever I need them. And the first one was Thomas Rimac. Now, he is a 4-star recruit. He is the #1 in the state and currently the #1 player at his position. And honestly, we're the only team that's offered him. Now, we do have some big names on there. They got Ohio State, they got Penn State, Cincinnati, Pitt. So it definitely is going to be a little challenging, but we did send all of our kind of recruiting points that we can towards him. I mean, he's 6'6", 318, and honestly, he's looking like a beast. 95 strength, 88 awareness, 86 pass block, 80 run block, man. This dude's looking like a beast. Now, overall, I didn't really find anybody too interesting. I mean, we got a couple DNs and linebackers that we found. We found Cam Cheatham, left end, true sophomore. We also have Dominic Moon, Bo Tate. Bo Tate is somebody I might be a little interested in. I just like the name Bo Tate. I'm not even gonna lie, but we're #5 on his board, and we're also #3 on Dominic Moon's board. So hopefully we can maybe get some points later and sign them. I also am taking a look at this cornerback here, Kalen Carroll. Now, he doesn't have great stats. I mean, he has 89 speed, 91 excel, but with the loss of Chandler Leach and a couple other key parts of our defense, I think Carroll could be a really good, impactful player for us going in the future. I also sent offers to free safety Jason Cross, and like I said, we signed Ben Combs, so just having a little bit of flexibility there since we lost Sean Taylor would be a little nice, and I know that we lost Kanye Adesanya as well. So I sent an offer to Cross and Tagola Nelson. He's a 2-star recruit, and I believe the other safety was a 2-star recruit as well. So Cross is a 2-star and Nelson is a 2-star. So hopefully we can get these guys. We didn't send any points toward them, just send them some offers since they were pretty high on our list. But I'm going to go ahead and do some advancing and see if we can get any recruits here in the first week of the transfer portal. All right, looking at our main list, man, we have Danny Mount, who was a previous prospect coming out of high school. He is ready for a visit, and we are currently #1 on his list. So these are all the guys that are ready for visits. And we also got Krishan McCary. We're #1 on his list, so I'm also going to get him out for a visit. And looking at Thomas Rimac, man, he's honestly the player that I want to get the most just to kind of boost that offensive line, especially after losing Juice Turner. But we're slowly rising on his list. Ohio State is going down, but Penn State, man, they're going to be tough to beat. We also have Brady, the other left guard, that we're moving up on his charts. Michigan is kind of getting up there as well. And the corner, Kalen Carroll, looks like we're doing pretty solid on him. So I'm going to get these guys scheduled for a visit, and hopefully we can get these guys on the roster here soon. Oh, man, you got to be kidding me. We had our 2 left guards, Thomas Rimac and Brady, pull out, man. They reached their top 3 schools, and now evidently looks like we are out of a left guard. So we might have to do some more digging in there, man. And Krishan, man, McCary has dropped in interest. We're now his #3. We're his #1. So we got some heavy duty recruiting to do here. And I gotta pull some strings to get these guys here, because we cannot lose out on some of these recruits, especially a dude like Krishan, man. And let's go. We got another commit, man. We got Andre Yeboah, man, from Indiana, 3-star cornerback, man. He wasn't in the transfer portal. He was one of our recruits, but just took a little bit longer to commit to this organization, man. And I'm happy to have another great commit come to Summit State, and I hope that he's on this team for a long time. And let's go. We got Krishan McCary, the wide receiver. He actually went to Kent State. Excuse me, it wasn't Akron, but Krishan McCary, or McCray, I think is how you say his name. I need to get that right, but I'm going to tell you right now, remember this dude's name, because he's going to be a beast, and he's going to be the next Maz Moreau, mark my words. All right, so we got 2 of our biggest recruits, man. We got Krishan McCray, and we also got Andre Yeboah, man, but we need some more players on this team. We're looking really good. We're #1 on a lot of guys' lists, so I might kind of look at Dominic Moon right here. We're still #2 for him, and also Jake Davies, a right tackle. But right now, if we can just make a couple more things happen, I should be able to get most of these guys on our team and really fill out the rest of our roster going into season 2. All right, and we get yet again another recruit that we really wanted. We get the cornerback Kalen Carroll out of Indiana, man, 3-star recruit, and he's honestly going to fill in for Chandler Leach, man. He had a really good season for us last year, and we just kind of need to fill in that cornerback spot, and hopefully he can get some playing time and be a really good impact corner. And with the cornerback room right now, man, he's going to get a lot of experience and a lot of kind of insight on what it means to be a great cornerback in the college football league. Alex Bauman actually ends up going to Pitt, man. He committed to Pitt. I really thought that we could have him, and honestly, Dominic Moon ended up going to Miami of Ohio, so shout out to you guys. I hope it works out for you, but I'm telling you, y'all made a mistake. Honestly, kind of wanted to see where people ended up going, man, and Garrett Nussmeier goes to TCU. He leaves LSU to go to TCU. Very interesting. Honestly, very interesting, man. Aiden Childs from Michigan State goes to be the next USC quarterback, man. TJ Finley goes back to LSU. He was there at one point. And let's see where our boy Deuce Gore went, man. He still has not committed anywhere. He has no offers yet. So, honestly, I feel kind of bad for the man. Honestly, if we could, I would give him another offer just to come back, but it doesn't look like Deuce Gore has any interest in coming back to Summit State. Indiana wide receiver Elijah Surratt goes to Ohio State, so he is going to take over for the now leaving Jeremiah Smith. So interesting moves here in college football, man. And Jeremiah Smith goes to Florida State. Why would you do that? Oh my goodness, this boy just made the worst mistake of his life. So RIP to Jeremiah Smith. We'll see you in the transfer portal next season, my guy. All right, man. So next up, we got training results, and I'm honestly kind of hoping that we get a lot of big upgrades. I mean, our freshmen were at 90s last season, so I'm hoping that we get some guys maybe in the high 90s, and honestly, I'm praying that our O-line is a little bit boosted after last season. But let's go ahead and see the training results to see what our player overalls are looking like for season number 2. Oh my gosh. Marcus Larkus is officially a 98 overall. The true freshman was a 93 last year, bumps all the way up to a 98. Oh boy, I'm telling you right now, do not press this man this season. This dude is going to be insane. Let me see some of his ratings. 99 route running, 99 deep route running, 99 release, 90, everything's 99, bro. That is insane. His catching's 94. This dude is literally, this is the new Nick Harbor, man. 95 speed, 95 acceleration. Oh my word. Tramarcus Larkus Heisman alert, man. You heard it here first. Caleb Travis is a 93. I believe he was a 91 last season, so he didn't really go up that much. DD Green up to a 90. Roy Martinez an 89, so a little bit of upgrades there. Justin Jagger gets up to an 88, so not bad. The one position I was worried about the most was the quarterback, and Jay Lalonde all the way up to an 84, man. And we actually have a new quarterback that goes a little higher than Tyler Bolton, man. Max Mikna goes up to an 84, so he moves all the way from the number 4 spot last season to the number 2 on our depth chart this year. So I don't know, maybe we'll have maybe there'll be a little fight for this backup quarterback spot, but I personally like Tyler Bolton. I think that he's going to be our starter here. Maybe depending on if Jay Lalonde goes to the league or not, man. Tyler Bolton might have to come in and be the starting quarterback. And looking at the future, man, Xavier Anderson is somebody that I'm really high on. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Deuce Gore, but a little bit better thrower. So we might even have to see Xavier Anderson at some point throughout the season. But Jay Lalonde, man, going up to an 84, 96 throw power. This dude might be pretty dangerous. Like I said earlier, the running backs really didn't change. Colin Provenance actually went up a little bit with 94 speed, man. So he is a senior this year, and the Samoan Semi is also a senior this year, man. But he actually went down in overall, which is kind of strange. But Colin Provenance looking to get a little bit more action in the backfield. Quay and Caleb Travis, though, will be pretty much our main focus, though, at our running back room. When it comes to the receivers, man, we got a lot of good ones, man. Jace Eberly looking to have a big junior year, and we have N'Keal Meek, who, in my opinion, is somebody that can really kind of overtake that Maz Moreau role. But I also do like Rashawn McCray, the junior out of Kent State. He's got a lot more badges, or abilities, I should say. And honestly, I think, in my opinion, I think McCray is going to get the nod here, but we might see a little bit of him every so often. But N'Keal Meek and McCray, there's definitely going to be a wide receiver number 3 battle there. Kyle Winya comes up a little bit. Caleb Hayes, man. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in our 2 signings, Deacon Gardner and Danny Mount, both 59 overall. So I think we're actually probably going to redshirt them, and they're probably not going to get much action for this season. Looking at the offensive line, man, they're not looking bad. They're very young. We got a lot of sophomores. Our whole left side of the line is sophomores right now, but Brandon Steiner going to be the 81 left tackle for us. And the left guard, man, it looks like it's going to be sophomore Kevin Sorto. So he's going to fill in for Juice Turner this year. Also have sophomore Jalen Nicely as well at a 75. So not bad overall. We do return senior center Samaj Nash, so this will be his last season, but we got some good young freshmen underneath him. We got John Walsh and Agnar Johnson moving up to the mid to high 70s, so definitely can move them around a little bit. Right guard, we're gonna go with freshman Bobby Lumber. He gets all the way up to an 80 this year, so he's going to beat out junior Cameron King for that starting spot. But like I said earlier, we might move around people a little bit, but Bobby Lumber as a freshman, 99 awareness, man, hey, we can't go wrong with that. And the right tackle is going to be Jelly Belly this year, the senior. He's going to move into that spot after Carter Williams left. And we also have Coco Ivy, the freshman that we just signed. So depending on how this line is looking, man, you might see a couple of these young guys have to come in and do their work. Looking at the defensive tackles, man, somebody that actually kind of had a pretty big offseason, Tony Rowe. Getting in the weight room this offseason, moves up to an 81, overtakes Doobie Smith as the number 2 defensive tackle. Like I said, we'll probably do a little bit of a rotation, but Doobie Smith, I don't know, man. He might have lost his spot here to the sophomore, man, the 81 overall Tony Rowe. We'll have to see. And this is where we're gonna get hurt, man. Jay Broom and Justin Jagger both are seniors this year, man. But 88 overall, 84 overall. I'm looking for a big year from these two, man. They really kind of came together as one unit last year as a linebacker group, and they're expecting some big noise and possibly even the best linebackers in the nation right here. And still, once again, man, our corner room is looking solid, and D Rhodes is the number 3 corner on our team. Jesse Mace actually goes and overtakes him as the number 2. Rob Highlander still sticking at the number 1, and he's only a sophomore, man. So we are gonna have, honestly, we could be looking at this core right here of corners for the next two to three seasons, man. Armani Jones got a little bit of playing time last year, moves up to a 79, and our transfer Kalen Carroll is a 76, so I'm excited to see what he can do. And we also have a couple guys here. We have our Andre Yaboa, who we just signed, a true freshman, probably going to redshirt him, don't know how much he'll play. There's not a lot of overall freshman talent other than our right tackle Coco, so honestly a lot of these young guys might just have to sit out this first season and kind of learn behind these guys, because we got a lot of senior depth and just honestly a lot of good talent that's above them right now. And safeties, like I talked about earlier, man, we're going to have a little battle here with seniors Tyree Stokes and Tyler Phillips. Now, Tyree Stokes is making the move over from linebacker over to safety, and he bumps all the way up to an 80 overall. So it's definitely going to be a little interesting to see how this battle turns out, but I don't know. I like Tyler Phillips. I think he's a little bit more, he can cover a little bit more range, but honestly, in my opinion, Tyree Stokes is probably our best overall fit with his power and his awareness. So we're definitely going to have some good safeties as well this year. All right, man, and that is going to probably do it here for our offseason, man. We are going to be ranked at number 11 as well going into our second season. Now, I was kind of looking around at our conferences. I think I'm going to stay in the Big 12 for at least one more year. I would like a little bit more competition. I thought about possibly moving to the Big 10 or even the SEC, but let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. And I'm going to take a look at our schedule. I might rearrange it a little bit just to kind of get some more bigger games. We got Auburn, UConn, Kansas State, who just won the national championship, so that'll be a really interesting game. We also got our our conference play with Arizona State, Baylor, Kansas, all those guys. So it looks like it's going to be pretty much the same schedule. I might honestly kind of rearrange it a little bit just so we can get some different guys or opponents that we can have for the season. But as always, man, I hope that you guys enjoyed the offseason, man. I'm excited to see some of these new players and honestly some of our younger players that we haven't got to see yet make an impact for this team. But as always, man, I hope that y'all enjoy, and we will catch you in the next episode for our season opener here at Summit State.